All right, enough of all that stuff, huh? I don't know if you could hear that on your side, but sound like a bad ambulance. How you doing, everybody? Welcome Monday morning, kind of afternoon now, 12:01. But good to see everybody. Welcome to the weekly coaching call I do on Mondays. And I've got a great topic for you guys today. It's going to take all of our time together, so I'm going to jump right in. And then I'm going to leave a little bit of time at the end for any Q&A, and I can help. But if you can get a pen and paper, I think you're going to want to track with me on this stuff. This is really powerful. If you happen to be on my training program this morning on my Attract Boss coaching call, it might be redundant for you, but it'd be good for you to see it again if you were. I don't think we maybe one or two. But number one, we're going to talk about an exercise today that I find to be really valuable. And I'm going to share a quick video so you can kind of see what I'm talking about, and then it will make more sense to you. But as we do this, we want to talk about goals, right? This is a goal setting training call. And we all have them, but I'm going to help you become laser focused into one thing that you can do to really impact your business as we go through this. So I'm going to pull up the video, make sure it works. It does. I'm going to share my screen. This is like a 60-second or less video. I'm going to watch it twice on purpose. So you can kind of scribble along if you want to, but I have the answers. I'll give them to you. Don't panic if you didn't get it all because it goes fast. We're going to watch it twice. You'll see why. And then we'll be back and I'll break down this information for you. So I'm going to share my screen. You should be able to see a gentleman on the screen now. And not if you could see it. Everybody okay? Okay. I see some nodding. Thank you. All right, we're going to listen to this. Again, it's short, and we'll do it twice.
If they will not go through this exercise, do not waste a minute of your time with them, because they will never be successful if they won't follow your guidance. Here's the exercise. Take a clean sheet of paper and write down goals and today's date, and then write down 10 goals that you would like to accomplish in the next 12 months, and write them in the present tense. I earn, I achieve, I weigh, I drive such and such a car, I own. And then you take this list of 10 and you say, if I had a magic wand and I could wave this magic wand and I could have any one goal on my list within 24 hours, which one goal would have the greatest positive impact on my life? And usually this will jump out at you. Put a circle around that goal. And that's a goal you transfer to a clean sheet of paper, and then you follow the 7 steps. Write it down, set a deadline, make a list of everything you have to do to accomplish it, organize the list into a checklist, take action, and then do something every day. If you'll just do this, nothing can stop you but yourself. From now on, whenever you bring on a new person, put them through this exercise. If they will not go through this exercise, do not waste a minute of your time with them, because they will never be successful if they won't follow your guidance. Here's the exercise. Take a clean sheet of paper and write down goals and today's date, and then write down 10 goals that you would like to accomplish in the next 12 months, and write them in the present tense. I earn, I achieve, I weigh, I drive such and such a car, I own. And then you take this list of 10 and you say, if I had a magic wand and I could wave this magic wand and I could have any one goal on my list within 24 hours, which one goal would have the greatest positive impact on my life? And usually this will jump out at you. Put a circle around that goal. And that's a goal you transfer to a clean sheet of paper, and then you follow the 7 steps. Write it down, set a deadline, make a list of everything you have to do to accomplish it, organize the list into a checklist, take action, and then do something every day. If you'll just do this, nothing can stop you but yourself.
All right, so what did you see? What did you hear? What stood out to you? I know it's different for all of us, but when I heard it, I thought of immediately my team, my organization, the people in my close circle. And he said, if they won't do this exercise, they're really not on the same playing field as you, right? It doesn't make them bad. It just lets you know, identifying wise, who your avatar is. Who are you growing your business with? Who are you circling yourself around, right? Who are you aligning with? And I want to be with other people that think this way, right? It doesn't make them bad. It just makes them not my people, not the people that get my time and get in my lane and get in my inner circle, right? And certainly I even protect it even more when we get out of business into the personal part of our life, right? My ride or dies, man, that is a very short list of people, right? And I have 4 or 5 friends in that have different capacities, right? I have a person that's a mentor, somebody I look up to in business and in life. I can ask questions to. I have other people that are the guys you call at 3 a.m. and they come over with moving blankets and shovels and they don't ask questions, right? So when we look at this, I see a avatar. I see a person that, or some kind of system that is really, really important to you is what I see. Any takeaways, anything like that we want to talk about before we get into the 10 goals and 12-month program? You guys all good? Okay, cool. So number one, you want to write down these 10 goals on a sheet of paper that you want to achieve in the next 12 months. Got to have a definitive end on it. So by the end of the year is a good example, since we're in the beginning of February, right? What are you going to do by the end of the year in each category? And say it in present tense, like I will earn blank. I will earn $100,000 this year. I will earn $100,000 a month this year. I will earn whatever it is, right? And then I will achieve icon level production. I will achieve making the $1 Million Club this year. I will achieve blank. This is your story. It's not, we can't all fill it in the same. The next one, and I'm going to give you 4 or 5 as a guideline, but it's your story. It could be anything you want it to be. The next one is I live in blank. Do you live in your own house? Do you live in Arizona? Do you live in a motorhome? You're traveling the country. What is it for you that at the end of the year you're doing, right? The next one is a vehicle. I own a Maserati, or I paid off my 1999 Dodge Yukon, whatever it is, right? Those are 2 different brands, Dodge Yukon. But you see my point. It's different for everybody. I had a Maserati. It was on my dream board. I got it, been there, done that. I just recently traded in for a brand new truck. I'm out of that phase. I achieved what was on my vision board. Maybe it wasn't my forever car. I had it for a couple of years, favorite car I've ever owned by far. I'll get another one, matter of fact. But you see, I was very specific. It was on my dream board. The only thing that was different was I had a purple one on my dream board and we bought a pearl white one. That was the only difference. And by the way, I've done that 3 times with my vision board. So income, where do you see yourself in 12 months? I am making this amount of money. It's an I statement. It's a statement, right? A present tense statement. And what about your weight or your health? I am committed to my health. I will weigh 120 pounds, or I will weigh 200 pounds, or whatever the number is. I will be at my high school weight. Whatever it is for you, write that down. Some of the other ones I put in here, I own blank, right? I own 5 investment properties, whatever it is. I travel. I travel first class everywhere I go. That's important to me. That's on my vision board as well. And whenever we do it, we're going to Cabo, we're flying first class. It's a little bit extra. It takes a little more planning, but we owe that to ourselves because that's been a commitment of ours, right? And I'm a big believer who you meet in first class and all that stuff is very, very powerful, right? So you can easily pay for those tickets by having an amazing business or personal relationship you meet. I travel. I spend time with family. I play golf. Those are my things, but whatever yours are, write those 10 things down in I statements, current, present tense, right? After you get done with that, this is the fun part, is take that list and circle one item. It's like the one thing would tip a domino over, and it'd be an immediate measurable benefit to your life, your business, your family, your health, your love, your whatever it is. Right? And if you've been single for a long time and you're looking to get married, maybe you say, I'm going to find a life partner by the end of the year. I saw the smiles. I know who you are now. But honestly, this is the power of both stating what's going to happen and manifesting. I strongly believe the universe and God and everybody will deliver to you what you focus on. I'm a big believer of that. And I wasn't always. I thought it was very whimsical and ooh-foo-foo. And I remember remodeling a house for a gal back 25 years ago in the beginning of my construction career. I've been licensed 30 years. And I was remodeling her bathroom, and we went in to demo the bathroom, and she had like 20 Post-it notes all over the mirror, like, I am good enough. I am a lion. I am fierce. I'm a loving mother. And I was like, man, what is wrong with this lady? She's got all this stuff up reminding her that she's got to be a nice person and all this weird, right? It's just weird. And now I am that guy. Now I am one, right? But back then I wasn't prepared. I wasn't ready in my personal development journey as a 35-year-old man to think that way. And so I judged her. Let's be honest. We tore the mirror out of there in the next few minutes. She was a little embarrassed that she left those things up. She was like, oh my God. And I'm like, I don't care. It's fine. I didn't judge her aggressively. I was just, you have some judgment around that, but that was her story and what she was going through. And to me, it painted a picture of who she was. And it wasn't that it was bad. It was just, I wasn't at that playing field level yet. So what about if you take your current place you are in this belief system, in this commitment, and you share it to a friend that's not? They're going to be looking like you or me looking into that mirror with 20 Post-its, and they're crazy. You understand the power of what I'm talking about right now? So now, out of all of that, what is the one thing? What's the one thing that's going to move the needle the most for you? If anybody wants to share, I'd love to hear it. You don't have to. This is recorded. We probably will post this. So, if you want to increase your love life, you're welcome to state it, but I'm just saying it might come out. But anybody want to share anything that comes up for them in their list? I'll share mine, though. Take yourself off mute or put your hand up if you do. This is interactive, by the way. You're welcome to talk. Nobody's willing to share. All right, Kenny.
Mine is I will do 17 transactions in 2024.
I love it.
And that basically would help move the needle financially. And just basically, I feel that would get momentum going huge for 2025.
100%. And probably will topple some of the other dominoes that are on your list, because that will create activity, that will create more business, that will create income, that will create momentum, that will create freedom, right? There's things that all follow suit with that. And that's the real secret to this. When I looked at mine, and again, I'm a vulnerable guy in terms of, this is not really vulnerable, but what you see is what you get with me, right? And for me, I had a list of 10 amazing things. I want to earn $1 million annually. Or I will earn $1 million annually in the present tense, right? I will own another home in Arizona this year. I just bought a new truck like 2 weeks ago, so that one's checked off. But I wanted a new vehicle this year, so I will have a brand new vehicle this year. I will weigh 220 and feel great about it, right? And commit to staying at that level. I've been 240. I'm a pretty big guy, but 220 is my sexy number. 220, I feel good. I look good. I respond well. It's just my number. So those are some of mine. But the one that came up for me is, and this is in my EXP organizational business. Some of you may not be in that model and understand it. But me, I will achieve 30 FLQA in 2024. Because what that will do with my organization is it checks off about 5 of the other things on my list. If I achieve that, I will afford the house in Arizona. If I achieve that, the truck is paid for. If I achieve that, my income goals are met. If I achieve that, I will travel first class. When I achieve that, not if. When I achieve that, Rebecca, you're tracking with my language. I can tell. Every time I correct myself, you light up. I will travel first class because I'm going to reach that other one goal. So now you take that laser focus one thing, right? I'm going to check chat just to make sure there's nothing in there that's important. It went too fast. I have the steps for you. I'll give them to you in a second. So thank you, Sonia. So when we get that one, then we're going to go into the next level when we layer these things down. So to answer your question specifically, Sonia, the first 10 things are your 10 things. They're not mine. I gave you mine as an example and a sample. Your 10 things may be completely different. Your 10 things may be, and I'm not saying this about you, I'm making it up. I will be in the best shape of my life. I will reach a certain milestone. I will lose weight. Whatever it is for you, all those label out and try to stay in the in kind of like what I did. I will earn, I will live, I will achieve, I will buy, I will surpass this income, I will, whatever that may be, right? So you get done with those 10, and then I'm going to go through the 7 steps to take that 1 into an action plan. Okay. So this is where you want to write this down. Again, the first 10 are your story. I gave you my 10. By the way, my golf one, it could have been my first one. It's that big of a deal to me to golf with my buddies Brent and Matthew and Gene Frederick and all this is what I love to do in life. That's the one thing. But if I put that first, it doesn't have the conduit to make it work. It's just, that's what I want, right? So for me, again, if I check that off the list, it's one of the dominoes that fall. I want to golf every month in a different location with somebody I care about, usually aligned with my organizational business, right? Because business is pleasure for me. So let's go over the 7 things in order. Number 1, follow these steps. Number 1, write it down. All right, that's going to be the first step. Write it down, put it on the mirror and a Post-it, do whatever you need to do to make sure it's in writing. What you write will manifest. What you believe in, what you continue to remind yourself will manifest. What you focus on expands. I cannot emphasize that enough. If you focus on anything, you'll see more of them. Question, who drove to work today? Raise your hands. Okay, we're cloud-based, so a lot of people work from home, but if you drove to work today, how many red vehicles did you see today, Taylor, on the way to work?
I don't think I saw any.
That you remember.
None.
I'm going to freak you out on the way home today because you're going to be thinking about that. You're going to be focusing on red vehicles. You're going to see a dozen of them or more. What you focus on expands. If you're looking for red cars, you'll find them. If you're looking for problems in the economy, I guarantee you're going to find them. If you're looking for reasons to be out of whack and politically upset, you're going to find them, especially now. If you're looking for reasons that the real estate market's tough, I've got 1,000 for you. If you're looking for ways the real estate market's easy, I also have 1,000. Right? It's really about what you're focused on that's so important. And Mark, the acronym Frontline Qualified Agents. It's people that I bring into my organization, unlocks other levels, and it's basically increasing me as a leader to get paid more as I go. I win if they win. Right? So if I help people achieve and win, then I win. And I don't see in your seat, but hopefully you heard that. So number 1, write it down. Number 2, set a deadline. We said 12/31/24, for instance. New Year's, I always like end of year. Right? So write it down. And if anybody's good at typing, if you would put it in chat, that would be awesome. Just like I'll do number 1. And then if you could do number 2 through 7, it'd be awesome. But number 1, write it down. So just like that. And if you could put number 2, set a deadline. Number 3, make a list. You want to make a list of what you have to accomplish to do this. Number 4, turn the list into a checklist. So in the beginning, you might just be brainstorming, like, what do I need to do this? Like if you want to buy a house in Arizona, what do I need to do that? I might need a down payment. I might need a realtor. I might need access to some kind of search capabilities through a realtor or Zillow or something. I might need to explore my lending power with a lender. I might need to explore areas to find out what's important. 55 and over, I qualify for now, baby. So I'm all about that. I got a younger girl, but she could live with me and 55 and over. So that may be something that I need to explore. That's what I'm talking about when I say prepare this list and then checklist in order. What's the first thing that we got to do along those lines, right? So having a checklist is number 4. And then number 5 is, let's see, nobody put it in there. Sorry, I lost my spot. So number 3, make a list.
Randy, I got you.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Number 3, make a list. Number 4, organize the list. Number 5, turn it into a checklist. Number 6, take action on your list. And number 7, do something every day that moves you towards that goal. Could be small or could be big. Do something every day that moves you toward that goal.
Oh, I
Thank you.
got that right.
Thank you for doing that. Organize a list, turn into a checklist, take action. Everything's perfect. Right? So it sounds really simple now, but let's take an item like I want to move to Arizona since I just did that second home in Arizona. I want to live there half the year. Right? We decided on that instead of Puerto Rico. We lived in Puerto Rico all last winter. We loved it. It's just a little far away. You know, it's quite a jog to get out there, and we have all the grandkids. Everybody's home base is in Oregon. So Arizona is a lot simpler. Plus our daughter's there. Taylor. Yes, sir.
If you were right in the middle of the story, go
That's
for
okay.
it.
I'm all right.
All right. So I just want to show you this.
I dig it. Is that your transactions? Taylor, you're muted. What is that?
Yeah. That's transactions.
Okay, perfect.
40.
So your goal is 45 by the end of the year.
Yeah. So
Perfect.
in terms of like making a list, like organizing it, take action, do it every day, like, I mean, would it apply necessarily to that?
It
Or is
can. You just have
like-
you have to get laser specific, right? Like doing 45 deals a year is great. That may attribute to your income goals. It's another line item, all these other things. But number 1, you have to be really specific on making your list and turn it into a checklist and then take action on that list. So if I was coaching you and you wanted to do 45 deals a year, I don't care what you did last year, doesn't matter to me. Mathematically, we could lay value to that. Do you know how many conversations about real estate you have to have in 2024 to reach that goal mathematically?
I did business planning. I just can't find it.
Okay, I'm going to
now.
give you the number. That's the cool thing about this, right?
Perfect.
So 45 deals times 40 conversations per deal. That's 1,800 real estate related conversations you have to have in the next 12 months. That sounds like a lot, but I'm going to show you the magic of this. Real quick guess. How many people think that's like a crazy number per week, per day? It's a lot, 1,800 over the next year. But watch the cool part of this math. 1,800 divided by 12 is now you need 150 per month. That's still a lot, 150 per month, but it sounds much more swallowable. Swallowable? You could swallow that. It's not swallowable. 150 a month. Divide that by 4 weeks. That's 37.5 conversations a week. That's getting more like, that's, if I work, that's reasonable. Let's go divide by 5. That's 7.5 conversations per day. That is a tangible number for you. So you'd round up to 8 in this particular case. So you have to have 8 conversations per day. Every work day, which not 365 days. There's only 2,000 approximate work day, or there's approximately 200 and what is it? 75 work days, 285 work days. So when we talk about this, it's like, okay, Taylor, I'm your coach now. Your commitment to doing 45 is awesome. Proud of you. 8 calls a day. That's all I care about now. I don't care about what's happening at the end of the year. If we take that granular and you say you're making 8 calls a day, and then I call you, go, dude, I only made 4 calls today. Okay, you got to make how many tomorrow, Taylor? You got to do 12 tomorrow.
Yeah.
You got to do 12 tomorrow because you shy 4. And I talk to you the next day and you're like, I did 4 again. Okay, now you have to do 16 tomorrow just to catch up. And if you don't, if you have 4 again, I'm going to say we got to reevaluate our plan here because you don't have enough time, you don't have enough strategy, you don't have enough discipline, whatever it is. You can see how granular I can get with that specific thing. To where if I'm just coaching you to do 45, I'm like, you could do it. You could do it. And then a month into it, you've had 8 conversations. There's impossible for you to reach your numbers. You follow me?
Yeah. Yep.
So this is one very tangible thing. By the way, the number's somewhere between 25 conversations to a transaction closed and 60. The number 40 kind of fits in the middle for everybody. If you're a high performer, if you're a coach, if you got incredible language skills because you worked in a call center for 100 years, all these things, you're going to be closer to that 25 to 30 number transactionally. And if you've never done real estate and you don't know how to talk on the phone and you're committed to this, but you're going to call and make mistakes, you're probably closer to the 60 number, right? So we can adjust that based on what we're starting to see. But you see the power of this. So now with Taylor in this thing, I'd say, okay, write it down, 45 transactions, set a deadline by the end of the year, make a list of all things to accomplish it. That's a big list right now. I've got a number one time block, at least 2 hours to maybe 3 hours a day. I've got to develop a CRM system so I can keep track of all this. I've got to do this and this and this and this and this. You have this list now. That's another list that you're going to be fine tuning, right? But then that list comes a checklist. The very first thing is time blocking the amount of time you're going to need. You might have, I need to get scripts practice and role play partner and all these things, but it's part of the checklist in order, right? And then take action. I've committed to 2 hours a day. It's the first thing I'm going to do is check on you. Taylor, how you doing? You do 2 hours a day. I did 2.5 hours, coach. It's awesome. How many contacts you make today? I did 7. Okay, close. That's good. What do you think held you from that one last? I got a lot of voicemails. Okay. What time are you calling? 9 o'clock. Interesting. Let's do it for another week and then watch it. And in a week, you could say, hey, I'm still only getting about 6 or 7 people a day max. And I'm working like 3 hours instead of 2. Okay, let's try calling at 5:30 to 6:30 at night. Let's call from 9 to 10 and then call the exact same list at 5:30 to 6:30 or 6 to 7 and watch your numbers increase, right? So there's tools that we can do to tweak it along the way. And then so now you're taking action and then do something every day that's moving you towards that goal, which in this case, I talked about a specific KPI, key performance indicator, which is measuring 8 per day. And by the way, if you only do 6 today, but tomorrow you do 9, and at the end of the week, mathematically, you should be around 40 conversations. If you've done that, which is a big number, by the way, it's a big number. But if you do that, these things will align. Right? This makes sense. So hopefully you guys love this as much as I do. I love the fact that we can go really high elevation view at this and then get granular into an action plan, really just by quickly making your list of 10. And then, by the way, let's say Taylor implements this and in 30 days, he's like, coach, I'm crushing it. I'm doing 2 hours a day. I'm reaching my 8 a day. I'm just super excited. What's next? Go back to the list of 10 things and find out what the next big domino is that if you tackled it, you'd be able to add it to the more granular 7 list and add it to what you're doing, right? Because that could be a new car. That could be moving to another location. It could be building a team, whatever it is for you, right? You see the power of this now. This is a great tool that I use in coaching to help people do action items that are going to be moving the needle forward all the time. And it's going to continue to tip over dominoes that then start really creating momentum on its own. So we're kind of at the end of the time, but I want to take any questions, anything that you want to ask me. Go ahead and come off mute and ask, and then we'll wrap up. And I'm going to stop the recording just for privacy. If you have any